FOKANയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ നടത്തപ്പെട്ട ലീഡർഷിപ്പ് ആൻഡ് പബ്ലിക് സ്പീക്കിംഗ് ബിരുദദാന ചടങ്ങ് കേരള ഉന്നത വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മന്ത്രി ഡോക്ടർ ആർ ബിന്ദു ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തു. ഈ വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിൽ 23ഓളം വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ പങ്കെടുത്തു. ഈ വെർച്വൽ വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിന് FOKANA പ്രസിഡന്റ് ജോർജി വർഗീസ്, ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി സജിമോൻ ആന്റണി, വുമൻസ് ഫോറം ചെയർപേഴ്സൺ ഡോക്ടർ കല ഷാഹി, എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് ജെയ്ബു മാത്യു, വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് തോമസ്, ഡോക്ടർ മാത്യു വർഗീസ്, വിപിൻ രാജ്, ഫിലിപ്പോസ് ഫിലിപ്പ്, ജോർജി തോമസ് എന്നിവർ നേതൃത്വം നൽകി.
Nicholas Angelo, Distinguished Toastmaster. The top 3 presenters will be awarded a certificate and prize from our FOKANA president, Mr. Georgi Vargas. We have a jam-packed event this morning, so I hope you all are as excited as I am. Now I would like to take this time to invite Dr. Vijay Nair to the stage to speak a few words about the workshop before we move on to the official commencement.
Thank you all for giving me an opportunity to serve you as a youth leadership facilitator. Communication is one of the least taught skills in education. And that is the one that ensures success for many of us, irrespective of how well we do in the field we are in. So Toastmasters workshops, Toastmasters was started in 1924 by Ralph Smedley. Today, there are 143 countries that has Toastmasters, 357,000 members with 16,600 chapters. And many chapters are in Kerala too. So if you get a chance to go to Kerala, go look up and visit a Toastmasters club. The FOKANA youth members, youth club, and under chairmanship of Reshma Sunil, and the support of the FOKANA larger executive committee. And I am assuring everybody here that whoever has participated in this youth leadership program, I would urge them, as Nicholas suggested earlier, to continue to work in their schools and colleges to develop their communication skills, because that is what will give them an edge in their life, in their workforce, and anything that they choose to do.
Dear friends, I am extremely pleased and happy to chair this auspicious occasion of the Youth Leadership Graduation Ceremony. This is the finale of the 9-week intensive training sessions. 23 young people have graduated or graduating today. This is the first time a Malayali organization is doing such an online event, a virtual program where people even from Kerala have participated and be part of this intensive program. വരുന്ന ഒരു മന്ത്രി കൂടിയാണ് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട പ്രൊഫസർ ആർ ബിന്ദു. എല്ലാവരും വളരെ ഇത് ഫേസ്ബുക്കിലും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ യൂട്യൂബിലും ഒക്കെ ലൈവ് പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇത് ഒരു റിയൽ വേദി അല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് കൈയടിക്കുവാനോ സ്വീകരിക്കുവാനോ ഫ്ലവർ കൊടുക്കുവാനോ ഒന്നും സാധ്യമല്ല. എങ്കിൽ തന്നെ വളരെ സ്നേഹത്തോടുകൂടി ആദരവോടുകൂടി ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മന്ത്രിയെ ഞാൻ ക്ഷണിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിനു മുമ്പ് ഒരു വാക്കുകൂടെ പറയട്ടെ. ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് വളരെയധികം സഹകരണം നൽകിയത് കൈരളി TV-യിൽ നിന്നുള്ളതായിട്ടുള്ള മിസ്റ്റർ ജോസ് കടാപ്പുറമാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം ഇന്നലെ കൈരളി TV-യിലെ ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രീ ലോഞ്ചിങ്ങും വന്നിരുന്നു. വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ ഞാൻ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ജോസിന് നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുകയും സ്വാഗതം പറയുകയും ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മന്ത്രിയെ സ്നേഹത്തോടുകൂടി ഈ സ്റ്റേജിലേക്ക് കമൻസ്മെന്റ് സ്പീച്ചിന് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി.
Let me extend warm greetings to all of you who participate in this convocation ceremony, the last episode of the Leadership and Public Speaking Workshop, jointly organized by FOKANA and Toastmasters International. I consider this as a great opportunity, as it provides me scope for interaction with many Malayali youngsters who are born and brought up in America. Kerala is now getting ready to transform itself into a knowledge economy. And I invite you all to join hands with us to take this task, to take the land of Malayalis to new heights. We often refer to a particular phenomenon called brain drain. That is, the best brains of Kerala fly to somewhere else and settle there in a foreign land, realizing their creative potential for an unknown foreign land. I hope to see an age when we can witness the best genius of Kerala settling here itself, benefiting his or her homeland with various faculties. I congratulate all the young boys and girls who participated in this workshop on the golden moment of your graduation ceremony. I hope you had immensely benefited from this workshop. I thank the organizers of FOKANA for providing this opportunity. Once again, thanking you all, I conclude and declare the meet as inaugurated. ഇപ്പോൾ നോളജ് എക്കോണമി ആയിട്ട് കേരളത്തിനെ മാറ്റി തീർക്കാനുള്ള അങ്ങേയറ്റത്തെ പരിശ്രമത്തിലാണ് ബഹുമാന്യനായ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയും ഞങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും തന്നെ. കോവിഡിന്റെ ഈ വിറങ്ങലിക്കുന്ന അനുഭവത്തിലും കേരളത്തിനെ ഏറ്റവും നല്ല നിലയിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള മലയാളികൾ കൈകോർക്കുന്ന ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്തെ സഹായിക്കാനും കേരള ജനതയോടൊപ്പം നിൽക്കാനും ഫൊക്കാനയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിനോട് സവിനയം അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ സാധ്യമായ എല്ലാ സ്രോതസ്സുകളും എല്ലാ സോഴ്സുകളും കേരളത്തിന് വിനിയോഗിക്കാകണമെന്ന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഈ മീറ്റിംഗ് ഇനോഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തതായിട്ട് ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തതായിട്ട് സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം അറിയിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you, Reshma. Good morning, Honorable Minister, Professor R. Bindu, FOKANA President Mr. Georgie Varghese, and my family members and friends. The 21st century belongs to the youth. I represented FOKANA youth team for many years and learned a lot during those years. FOKANA gives a lot of opportunity for the youth to grow and succeed. It's a pleasure to know that this year's youth leadership program is ending really well, with a lot of young leaders and talents. I'm sure that this is a proud moment for FOKANA, and I would like to congratulate each one of you for your great achievement. Thank you all, and have a nice weekend.
Good evening. I'm so proud right now, so we are, our chief guest, Honorable Minister Dr. R. Bindu, for presence of this youth development workshop, and congratulating for your new honorable responsibility behalf of FOKANA. Madam, you are an inspiration for every youth and Malayalis in America. And at this moment, I wanted to express our thanks to Kumari Reshma for your willingness to take this responsibility. And you are very talented, and you made a good job. Thank you again, organizing this motivational program. Now I take a moment to congratulate all the outstanding, enthusiastic youth participating in this workshop. Even from India, I'm especially congratulating that two participants from India too. Finally, I am especially grateful to appreciating an amazing, multi-talented personality, my friend Dr. Vijay Nair, who organized, conduct, teach this workshop. And I'm very little proud. He's one of my close friends. Not only that, he's an excellent community leader and teacher, and a good movie star too. Now I am inviting Dr. Vijay Nair to kickstart this speech competition. Thank you again, and thank you, Jos Kadapuram, for covering all these media things. I'm inviting Dr. Vijay Nair to start.
After the Greek Empire, these names still reverberate throughout history. Many of the ideas and discoveries made by the previously listed people are simple enough to be taught to children in the public school system, but it laid the fundamental foundation for the scientists of later generations to build upon, strengthen. One can say that the scientists and the thinkers of the Greek Empire left the world with an impeccable foundation on whose basis all of humanity's mathematics and science will later be derived from. The knowledge acquired by the scientists and thinkers would later circulate throughout the empire and eventually spread to every corner of the world. It is possible that many more incredible minds were born in the Greek Empire and made a huge impact, but only their knowledge was able to spread to the future, leaving the original person forgotten in the sands of time.
In this favor, an emperor who enjoys dressing lavishly falls for the tricks of two swindlers. They tell him they are weavers who make a special kind of dress that those unfit for their position cannot see. The king buys them all the expensive silk and all the expensive fabric that they demand, then sends citizens of his kingdom to check on this supposedly magical piece of clothing. Since the cloth is not at all magical and simply does not exist, they all lie to the emperor for fear that they will lose their jobs if he finds out they are unfit for their position.
My dear friends, Ms. Reshma Sunil and my dear friends, greetings from India to you. Right now, I'm a third-year nursing student here. Why I take nursing? Let me tell you why. First, I have many nurses in my family. Second, my brother, he was sick when he was very young, so I wanted to take care of him. So I decided that I have to become a nurse when I grow up. My family was very supportive to me, so I decided that I have to become a nurse. I'm a very talkative person, so I think let me attend this public speaking course so I can communicate better because I will be able to use my profession anywhere in the world. And I like to say, I set a goal from my nursing career. I want to people feel God's love when they are under my care. I know I can never love everyone on my own. I want to people feel loved because they are created God's image and people loves them. Thank you for listening and also for giving me an opportunity to participate in the class to learn.
Workload that we'll have to face in order to get the world to a state where Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter posts about war, famine, starvation, violations of human rights aren't the norm. It is not what we must wake up to every day. We have to fight back against the precedents of violence set by our predecessors. But I realize that we also includes me. These are problems that I, as someone born in 2006, will have to inherit with the rest of my generation. I will one day go from observing these problems during my golden years to viewing these issues as my golden problems.
I went to my computer, opened it, and started clicking on my mouse, formatting, typing, doing every single thing as fast as possible so that it wouldn't be late. Time flew extremely fast. And when I say fast, like fast, because I thought it was 15 minutes, but the next time when I looked at the time, it was 7:15. So I had to stop and get ready for school since I had to take the bus and I couldn't miss that. I couldn't finish it in my house, but I was able to finish it on the bus.
Medical supplies, hospital beds, oxygen tanks, and other shortages in many critical medical supplies. They are unable to care for the overflowing as well as overwhelming amount of cases. However, social media's efforts are aiding in change. Many people are raising awareness and donating funds. These efforts help send supplies to India in hopes to prevail through this tragedy.
Why is this issue kept hidden from us? Jurisdictional transparency, which is a simple concept that is evident in the US. The notion that jurisdictional rules should be clear and understandable in the interest of judicial efficiency, predictability, and accessibility.
It all began in September 1972 with the release of the Magnavox Odyssey. You see, before this, video games, or more specifically, computer games, were never really meant to be shown to the public. Many early video games were not created with the intent to be sold.
Martin, who eventually became a nationally prominent tax attorney, exerted an important influence on Ruth through his strong and sustained interest in her intellectual pursuits. Martin and Ruth were married in June 1954, 9 days after she graduated from Cornell. Ruth Bader did a lot for gender discrimination. Ruth completed her legal education at Columbia Law School, serving on the Law Review and graduating in a tie for first place in her class in 1959. Despite having excellent credentials, she struggled to find employment as a lawyer because of her gender and the fact that she was a mother.
For the very first time. It is not easy to go from a sheltered, protective environment to a heavily populated school campus. All of the peer pressures that we left behind in 2019 are still in those buildings. I truly hope that people will be more sensitive and understanding of one another.
Annual income and how many people are in the household. If it exceeds a certain number of income, they don't get the support. But technically, if one person barely passes the poverty line, then they don't get support. But essentially, they're in the same situation as someone does get support because they're just
that is used for the deaf and for the hard of hearing. It's their way of talking. ASL is something different and unique from English. It's just like how we make an emotion or slight tone to indicate that you're putting a question mark at the end of your sentence, just like how deaf people use their hands.
You all to know that if you have any speech coming up in college and you need some help with preparation, reach out. You know, if I can't help you directly, there is always somebody whom I can suggest who can help you. But reach out to me and say, hey, I'm doing this. What are your suggestions? This is my speech. What are your suggestions? Right? And it's never over because it's your life. You compete with yourself, not with anybody else. Somebody, Aditya Nair of today is a better Aditya Nair than of yesterday, right? You compete with yourself and you use your peers to set a baseline for where and standards for yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay Nair. Beautiful, beautiful performance. I've been listening to the speeches. I'm so privileged to be part of this, to plan something like this as FOKANA president. This is one of the great events that we have done because I've seen the changes. I've seen what you guys have done, wonderfully done on today's speeches. And I want to take this time to congratulate all 23 of you who have done a great job. Of course, those who spoke today, you did great. And of course, the judges had to select a few people out of them. And I congratulate all three of you and all the rest of the other speakers. All of you did a great job. And when you grew up as citizens in this country, wherever you go, I'm sure you will be able to present yourself in a different way, in a much better way than you knew yourself. It's a learning experience to know yourself and to move on in life. So thank you.
Parents, also I want to take a moment to appreciate our guest, Honorable Minister Professor Bindu, for making it here and giving us an enlightening and worthy speech. Thank you, ma'am, so much. Next, I want to thank FOKANA President Georgie Verghese for organizing a platform for the youth. Thank you, Georgie Verghese. Next, I want to thank FOKANA Secretary Sujiman Adney, FOKANA President Philippos Philip, the committee members, Dr. Vijayan, and also I want to especially thank Dr. Vijay Nair for conducting Toastmasters.